It's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for action in the Indy Open Series. Hello again, everyone, and to all of you in the USA, happy Thanksgiving weekend. Hope those ladies out there letting their fellas at least take a break from all that Black Friday shopping to at least catch a little bit of IndyCar racing. And maybe the ladies that enjoy IndyCar racing will take a break themselves and catch out the action today from Watkins, Glen. Everyone, hello again. I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to Race First coverage of a team of actually the Indy Open Championship, coming to you today from upstate New York and Watkins Glen International for round 11 of the Indy Open Series Championship, sponsored by Team Watson Racing. Joining me for expert analysis in the booth for today's race, he is my IndyCar teammate and regular participant in the Indy Fix Series. No Thanksgiving traditionally down there in Mexico, but coming to us live from Mexico City, where they do experience Black Friday. Please welcome Antonio Estrada. Antonio, man, when we first saw Watkins Glen on the schedule, we're thinking, oh, it's just a traditional Watkins Glen. It's going to be the boot and everything. Oh no boot today. We're going to see lap times less than a minute. These guys are going to be flying.
They sure will, Gary. Hello, everyone. Yeah, no Thanksgiving for us, but like you said, we do get Black Friday and we get Cyber Monday. We're sure to spend a lot of money. We do get that tradition. As for Watkins Glen, yeah, I mean, I love this layout. I know that it's traditionally, the IndyCar would be traditionally tied to the boot, the full layout of Watkins Glen, but this one that has been used by Cup Series for as long as I can remember, it's blazingly fast. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, they're going to be flying around there. I'm seeing times in the 54-second bracket, so almost as close as a superspeedway race in Talladega. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And this it doesn't have a lot of turns. It's not necessarily a very technical track. It is a very fast track, and yeah, it's going to be super fun watching these cars using the draft to their advantage, making sure of keeping those pushy pass buttons on standby and using them very strategically. And the other thing that's going to be coming into play is tire management. These cars should be able to do around 23 laps, and we have 51 we're going to be doing. So you might try and save enough fuel to try and one-stop it, but you're probably going to lose a lot of time. And since you have to change compound, the red tires are degrading really fast. So we're probably going to see some drivers hop into the pits and then do another 3 or 4 laps on the reds and then go back to the blacks to finish the race. It's going to be a lot of strategy coming up here.
Well, 4 minutes left in qualifying. We're watching your provisional pole sitter right now, Christian Hilgard, as he is on the provisional pole, a 54.8. His teammate right behind him with a 54.9. Rashad Craig, after a pretty solid finish in the open wheels, actually, he didn't have a solid finish. He was doing well, and then he had a bit of a mechanical on the computer side of things. Unfortunately, had to force him to retire for a little bit, but he came back and still finished the race. But Craig there sitting at a 55 flat, now down to P4. Hubler up to P3. I believe Hubler is joining this big team now of Hildegard Burrell combo. So
distinct.
That's distinct. It's going to be even bigger and more powerful right now, sweeping the top 3 spots of the grid. So, interesting story. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, I always do with the IndyCar, real life IndyCar records at tracks. IndyCar's never raced this configuration in real life. So what the information I'm giving you is what they've raced when they have raced the boot. So all these track times and everything would effectively be, if they were there in real life, new track records for this configuration. But kart ran here from 79 to 81. In 79 and 80, they utilized what is known as the 2.427 mile short circuit. Allenser won the pole for both races, while his brother Bobby ironically won both. In 81, they upgraded to the 3.377 mile Grand Prix circuit, with Mario Andretti winning the pole and Rick Mears getting his fourth of what be 7 career road course wins there for the Rocket. Many people don't realize that he was a pretty decent road racer. Everyone thinks of him as more of an oval racer. Now, IndyCar would not return again until 2005, and they exclusively used the 3.403 mile boot course The IndyCar track record is held by Scott Dixon with a time of 122.417, which equates to a speed of just shy of 150 miles an hour, 147.08. And he set that in 2016, so I believe it's the last time that IndyCar ran there. The IndyCar career wins leader here is Scott Dixon with an overwhelming 4 wins. There's not a single other driver that has more than 1. So Scotty D, if he has one track on his wish list to return to the schedule, I'm going to bet it's probably going to be Watkins Glen.
Yeah. I think it would be a treat for all of us IndyCar fans if the IndyCar Series would return here. It's a wonderful track. It's a great facility, and it lends itself to great racing with these cars. I mean, I understand that it's tough getting crowds, but Watkins Glen would definitely be a great place for these cars to go back at it in real life.
And about a minute left in qualifying. Van de Sant now. Alex Van de Sant, 80. Alex VDS, he is there at the top of the charts there with a 54.7 for the team power slide entry. Hilgard back down to second, and we're watching Hilgard right now on the track trying to make up some time, try to get that pole back with about 50 seconds left. Hilgard still with that 54.8, Burrell with a 54.9. So we have a 54.7, 8, and 9 at the top of the chart. Hubler still sitting there in fourth with a 54.961. Craig with the 55 flat. Man, these times are really, really close. Look at that from top to bottom. It was really starting from... you look at P1 to P13 where Wilhite is, and it's less than a second.
Sure is less than a second. That's gonna be very. I mean, like we were talking about, this is a very, very fast track, and the times are crazy close. This all boils down to how you have set up your car, what are your settings on the ARVs and the bars, and just going for it and being very aggressive probably on the bus stop. And
we're gonna watch cars. We're going to watch cars slide through the bus stop as it's almost like a slalom when they go through there, these cars. It doesn't look like they're really turning the wheel. It just kind of looks like they're navigating through a couple of really quick left and righters and getting back on the power, hitting that carousel right there. So we're gridding up, and we're going to see who's going to start hitting the lineup, the grid here first, who will have what tires on the start.
Looks like pretty much everyone is going to be on the primaries, at least from what timing and scoring is giving me right now, but we'll find out in a second. Which, it would be the strategy, because like we were talking about, the alternates will degrade very quickly. They will last around maybe 10 laps, and they're going to go off a cliff. So starting with primaries, going to a quick stint on the alternates, and then going back to the primaries should be the way to go. Although, like we were talking about, you can try and do it in one stop, but that would mean that you would need to, nurture those tires, those alternate tires, for around 25 laps, and that's probably nothing, not something that you would like to do.
No, no.
Something else that you could try is starting on the alternates and then getting rid of them quickly, doing around 5 to 10 laps, going to the pits, and then going primary on your, the next 2 pit stops. But we'll see.
Wow, we are gridding up here. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup.
All right, so pole position, very, very fast time, Alex Van de Sant with a 54.7. And he's joined by Christian Hilgard from Team Distinct there with a 54.8 on the front row. Starting P3 is Kevin Burrell, joined by Zachary Hubler, his teammate, both with a 54.9. Very close time for those two. In row 3, we find Rashad Craig and Brian Carey. Then in row 4, we can see Andrew Sandberg and Facundo Machin from Argentina. Then row 5, we can find Jesper Orman and Daniela Taubert, one of the 2 females that are racing here today. Row 6, we find Ryan Stark and Olivia Hayward. Row 7, Kristen Wilhite and Lucas Einkemer. Row 8 finds Clint Morin and Cameron Faulkner. In row 9, we can find Josh Brain and Niels Reinecke. And without a time, bringing shotgun on the field, they said AJ Musselman starting P19. 19 cars, 51 laps around this place. It's going to be going very, very fast.
Strength of field is 3.3K. AJ back there looking to. I'm sure this is one of AJ's known farming weeks. He tells me is when they go to Watkins Glen when he's going to go farm some iRating, and he's already sent some videos of him being taken out early in some races. So I'm thinking that he just wants a nice safe start and then work on finishing the race from there. But there's AJ Musselman right there, shotgun on the field in that IAR entry. Remember, you can't have an IndyCar race without AJ in the lineup.
Keeping the tradition of having an AJ there. Yeah, and turn one of lap one, that's probably the toughest one to get through cleanly, because everyone's so close together and you have to go real quickly on the brakes. And the braking points are different for a lot of these drivers.
Yep.
So chaos can
yeah
can definitely happen. And I mean, we know that most of these guys, they are super high rating, so I don't think it's gonna happen. But in lower splits, you would always see, disaster of turn one with somebody just missing an entirely braking point. But yeah, getting really close to starting the race. Already back here in turn 10. Turn 10 of the full layout. I think it's called turn 6 when Cop runs here.
Yeah, turn 6. They're in turn 6 right now.
And then coming to turn 7.
Final turn there before hitting the main straight. Here we go. Up through the gearboxes, fields under the command of Alex Van de Sande. He brings him the green, and we are underway. And Alex wastes no time going. We're 3 wide, 4 wide toward the back.
Yeah, Facundo Machina and Amber Sandberg were both trying to make moves. Didn't happen, but now they're side by side with Zachary Hubler.
As Hubler and Sandberg side by side, now they're situated through the S's. This is one of the more dangerous spots, the S's with cold tires. Here comes the other dangerous spot with cold tires as Hilgard gets the lead back from Van de Sande. It is right here in the bus stop. You got cold tires, watch it through there. Back out of the bus stop, up into the carousel. Normally they would shoot down the chute right here, but they're not going to go that way. Although they are going to swing wide. That is going to be an X right there. But you can't get more than 2 wheels off, or really you can't clear the rumble strips. That's really what they don't want you to do there. Back to the final corner.
In turn, like exiting the outer loop, you can get away with as much, you can cut that as much as you want. You're not going to get an X. You do get an X on turn 1 here, and also in turn 6.
Yeah, okay, it was 6. Okay, I thought the exit of 5. I'm sorry, it was 6. I was reading the rules here before the race, and I missed the spot, but yeah, you're right. I guess you can drive it as wide as you want to out of 5, but 6 you got to keep it tighter, and 1 you got to keep it tight. But Hilgard is your leader. Van de Sande P2. Here we come down to the bus stop for the second time. Here the rumble strips bouncing the cars. These guys are very stiffly sprung, so when they bounce, they go airborne.
Van de Sande went wide. Sorry about that. Van de Sande went wide, and Burrell is now taking a position on him.
Jesper Orman has an issue going through the bus stop.
Van de Sande is coming back. Not going to happen. No, Rashad Craig is getting closer to Van de Sande. I'm not sure if Van de Sande had an issue.
Oof. And yeah, Jesper just hit the rumble strips at the wrong angle and sends the car into the bus stop wall there. That is day done for my man Jesper, who came home 4th in the Open Wheels 500 last week.
What a bummer. Trying to find a replay, although Rashad Craig is now really close to Van de Sande. I'm not sure if he's going to try and send it here. No, he waits a little bit. He lifts up the throttle. Van de Sande is now on the attack on Kevin Burrell. He does a little bit of a wider line there than what we're seeing both of the distinct guys doing and Rashad Craig behind him.
Yeah, Rashad actually had a bit of a tidy line coming out of 5 there. He did not go as wide as everyone else. I don't know if he was looking for the cleaner air or what, but he had a bit of more of a tidier line. Ooh. Ryan Stark, I think, might have kissed the turn 7 wall on exit. We'll see if he did. He's going to take a look to the inside of Brian Carey. Brian Carey in that other power slide entry.
Ryan Stark still in that M&M's. pains him.
Well, I mean, he does. I mean, he did pose a good question. Who doesn't like an M&Ms? And I'm like, it's true.
That is true.
And it's true.
No debating that.
No.
A totally different line from Brian Carey in front of him. He seemed to get a little close, but now he lost a ton of track position. I'm not sure if he got a little tight. He's closing back in here. He's very fast around here. He had a lifter a little bit on exit of turn 7. He was going to hit the wall otherwise.
Well, team distinct, 1 and 2. Burrell with the purple lap of 56.145. Actually, Ryan Stark has a purple lap now, 56.015.
Rashad Craig is right there. Moves to the inside of Alex Van der Zandt, but thinks better of it. He wasn't that close.
Yeah. Oh, Alex goes wide to the bus stop. And that's going to lose 1 position. He's going to lose maybe 2.
Maybe more. He has to get a slowdown, I think. And there's Sandberg now trying to do a move on the outside. No.
Nope. Gonna tuck back in here.
Oh, he goes very wide there. That's going to be a 1X for him. So yeah, that quickly everything can change. Like if you go super deep on the bus stop and you miss it by a tiny bit, then you're gonna at least lose a position or 2. You might get hit also with a slowdown penalty, and yeah, it's very, very fast. We're already on lap 6.
Yeah,
that's how fast we're going. Oh, it looks like Lucas Sankemer having an issue.
2 cars at the exit of turn 7 with an issue. Cameron Faulkner and Eichemer. They're going to come in, and looks like 1 car can get repaired. The other car might be able to get repaired.
Looking at the replay.
Oh, no. The other one looks like it's crabbing to me.
Oh, no. That was... So it looks like Lucas Sankemer was heading to the pit lane, and there really is no blend line. You just have to take that turn 7 as you would take it normally, but you're going very slow.
Ryan Stark hitting pit road, so I wonder if maybe he does have damage from hitting turn 7, the turn 7 exit wall.
Well, Ryan Stark, he's on the alternate tire, so he started the race on the alternate tire. He's doing that strategy that we're talking about. He's probably gonna go here to the primaries.
Well, here comes Clinton Martin. Here comes Clinton Martin. He's on this kind of. I guess he'd be on the same schedule.
Also,
the Scours team
on the alternates.
Yeah.
Everybody else on the racetrack right now is on the primary, and these guys are changing right now to the primaries. There we go. Ryan Stark, a 7.9, quick stop. Going out now. So yeah, now they're done with the alternate. And now they're going to go around 23 to 24 laps, and then they're going to pit again, and that's going to bring them to the end. So they're in a better position right now. They don't have to use the alternates anymore. Everybody else, they have to go and use them at least for a couple of laps.
Watching the battle for 3rd right here between Rashad Craig, Alex Van der Zandt. Right behind him, a good 3-car battle for 5th, led by Anders Sandberg. This Hubler and Carey are also in that battle.
Van der Zandt is trying to make a move on the inside. There we go, on the inside of Rashad Craig entering the bus stop.
Ooh. Right into your homes
there. Very close to the wall. And that's the thing. You have to go so fast on there that you have to get super close to the tire, to the walls, in order to make it quick through there. Because otherwise, you're going to be losing a ton of time to everybody else. So you have to be on the limit to make sure that to nail that bus stop.
Well, they're not off the gas very much here at this racetrack. Here are the average speeds, lap times going on right now. I believe the fastest lap right now, I think I saw that right, was Stark with a 155.346 mile per hour lap. That's on a road course. That is absolutely smoking it right there. And we see him going through the bus stop chicane. One one of the slower places, not by much on the course. They did not get down very slow there. Through the carousel, not very slow through there. Coming into 6, they not very slow through here. Plus they have that runoff area. And as they get a little bit slower here through 7, once they straighten the car out.
Third. Yeah. You go down to 3rd here on turn 7, but that's really the only place. Well, that and turn 1 here that we're coming to. But other than that, you're on 4th or 5th or even 6th, depending on where you're on the track. It's very fast.
Let's ride along with Alex Van de Sent right here over on his roll bar. 5th gear, lights are blinking, up to 6th at the top of the hill, out of the S's, down, I guess what we would call the back straight, going into the bus stop chicane. Listen, he just drops a couple of gears, not off the accelerator very much, back on it again, gets the car settled down, gets it down to the bottom and through the carousel, exit the carousel, full on the power, 4th gear, back to 5th gear, 6th gear, just briefly, 1 gear down, and through that corner,
1 gear down, final lift.
Yeah, another 2 gears down in the final corner. And back again. We haven't watched him go through turn 1. We'll watch him go through turn 1 here. Turn 1's kind of a little blind, going downhill. There it is. There's the apex. Got to find the apex. Swing her out wide. And now start lining up for the S's. He's on push to pass, as you see by the green border around his pie readout there on his dash. And down the back straight. And listen again. Not much lifting through the chicane.
Not at all. and not much lifting throughout the entire track. I mean, you do the tiny lift there entering 6, and then a little bit of braking entering 7, and you also brake, of course, for turn 1. But other than that, you're on the throttle the entire lap. That's also why this layout works so well for the Cup cars, because, heavy, no good brakes, and they really kind of slide them through here. They can go as wide as they want. They don't have very many rules here for the NASCAR guys. And translating that to the Indy cars, well, these cars are much, much faster, so everything happens quicker than it would be for the Cup cars. It's a lot of fun, this layout.
And it looks a lot more violent, too, because these are a lot more stiffly sprung, so when they bounce, the whole car bounces.
Yep. Yeah, it sure does. Looking back a tiny bit, looks like Brian Carey is catching Zachary Hubler there for P6. There's a little train of cars there. Sandberg, Hubler, and Carey, they're very close together. A tiny mishap from any of them is going to open the door.
Hey, according to YouTube analytics, only 40% of you are subscribers, which actually that's pretty good. That means some 60% of you that are watching right now are. But we like to change that number if you can. Let us help us with that right now. Help us on our drive to 1,000 subscribers. If you enjoy Race First coverage of the Saturday 1 p.m. Eastern top split of the Indy Open Series Championship, and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. We have just seven people to go to get to the magical 1,000 mark, so help us by hitting that subscribe button right now. We can't get there without you. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash the bell and click, smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future Race First iRacing broadcasts. Back to action here, watching Brian Carey as he starts reeling in those cars right in front of him. We got, what do you see?
Yeah, Olivia Hayward sending it on Daniela Tauber there for P9. What a move. She got a great run on the bus step, and that allowed her to go past her competitor, Daniela Tauber. They're very close in track, and Daniela is not giving up, though.
Oh, Daniela was sliding through 7 as we just rode on board with her real quick.
Yeah, lost a ton of track position there, but just sliding a little bit those tires. Hayward is on the move.
Now, I got to give Daniela a shout-out. She is sporting the Bryant's Heating and Cooling sponsorship that normally we see run every year at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway from some of the lower-funded teams. But congrats to her for going down in the IndyCar history, pulling that one out.
I was trying to see what Olivia Hayward is sporting. I don't think it's a traditional IndyCar livery.
Excuse me, Daniela. Daniela's got the Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Oh no, yeah.
I'm not.
I
That
said
might
like,
be.
but...
Yeah, that might be a custom or her their own team or something.
Yeah.
Good looking car. Good looking car. Right behind them.
Yeah.
Speaking of team, P11, Chris Wilhite, and the IAR purple car. He's just hanging on to this group right here. Probably getting some fuel mileage.
It's a little weird seeing Chris Wilhite all the way down to P11. He has made 2 spots though, but his fastest lap so far, he's been at 57 flat.
Yep.
And if we look at the top 3, Hildgaard, Birel, and Van de Sande, they are in the 56-1 bracket. Well, Van de Sande is at 56-2. Those distinct guys, they're really destroying the competition here right now. AJ Musselman up 6 spots already, up to P13.
Yeah.
Right now, basically by himself on track. But, shout out to him. 6 spots is never easy to get, so. Going back to Brian Curry. He's closing in on Hoover, but I don't think I think he's happy just riding there. I don't see him trying to actively pass him. Maybe he's getting the benefit of the track
yeah, I
here.
think that's exactly what he's doing.
Saving a little bit of tire, a little bit of fuel. I don't think we're going to see anybody try that one-step thing, but you could potentially try and do it. So we are actually closing in to that first speed window.
Yeah, we are. We're getting there.
For pretty much the top 14. Yeah, top 14. They're going to be coming in the next 3 to 4 laps. Well, maybe 5 laps. I cannot math. But we'll see if that's when they start attacking. I think they will for a little bit because they're going to go to the alternates, and they're probably going to all use them for a very short period of time, and then go back to the primaries to finish the race. Very getting a little closer this time by the Hubler. Not sure if Hubler has an issue or maybe he missed turn 5 a tiny bit.
And they're coming up to lap traffic. Yeah, the leaders are coming up to lap traffic now. That's Clinton Martin there in the Scours car, and he is set that pit stop early to get off the Reds, and now he's on a newer set of primes.
That could potentially affect Hildgaard a little bit. I mean, clean air does matter at this racetrack, as we know it's very, very fast. So, if you have clean air, it's better, especially here on the outer loop. He's going to go super wide, trying to make a move on Clint. Oh, he's going to get him here, entering turn 6. Yep, so scratch that. No problem for Hildgaard. Now Birel trying to make a move. And Clint Martin is actually letting him by.
Just get out of the way, yeah.
That's the gentlemanly thing to do.
Now Alex Van de Sande on the button again. There you see the green border around his Pyreet out there. Up the hill. He's going to get the benefit of the draft from Martin. He's really going to get a good slingshot here on the push to pass. Probably going to eat up some ground between him and the top 2. Into the bus stop. Alex sideways in the entrance, but straightens it out. I'm telling you, it's like a slalom. And, if you're familiar with upstate New York, that's where Lake Placid is, right? Where they did a lot of slalom back there in the 80 Olympics. And we're just watching them right now do it through the bus stop chicane with these Indy cars. Slick tires just sliding on through that bus stop chicane like it's hardly even there.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like a turn, actually.
Oh, sounds like the bullpen's calling.
Whoops, sorry about that. In the meantime, actually, Brian Carey went by Zachary Hubler. We thought that he was just a happy riding on the back, but he's now up to P6.
To be fair, I do think he's happy to be riding back there, but if he can capitalize, I'm sure he is. That's one thing he will do.
Looks like also Chris Wheelhide was able to make it by Daniela Chobert, I'm sorry, and closing in a tiny bit on Olivia Hayward. Martin getting out of the way of everybody.
Yeah, and he's on a different schedule, so he's going to get this lap back when everyone stops.
Yeah. But he must have had an issue of sorts because Ryan Stark, who is also in that same strategy, he was 15 seconds in front of him, so something went awry on that pit stop for Colin Martin.
Maybe sped coming in. It's an easy thing to do here with the cones are like literally right on top of the racetrack.
Yep. Brian Curry trying to make a move on under Sandberger for P5. They're side by side on the backstretch, entering the bus stop now. Completes the pass. Actually, Sandberg is like, okay, yeah, you can have it.
That's 2 more spots. Or 1 more spots. 2 gained here in the last couple laps here by Carey. Move him up to 5th. Next up is Rashad Craig in 4th. Show you the current standings as they run right now. There you go. 21 of 51 in the books. If you are just joining us, this is Race First coverage of Saturday's 1 p.m. Eastern top split of the Indy Open Series Championship, with coverage sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups, coming to you from Watkins, Glen International. We've completed 22 of 51 laps. If you haven't done so already, after tonight, you'll have just 1 more opportunity to donate to our Race First Indy Open Broadcast Fund. If you're watching and haven't donated to the program, we'd greatly appreciate your support. Carey goes wide on exit, and he's going to give up at least 1 position, going to go side by side through the carousel. And he's going to pick it back up. I'm surprised he didn't have to slow down because he cut the course.
I'm sure he has one, but now everybody's here. Hubler, Sandberg. But Carey is able to hold on to that.
Very impressive. Wow.
And Sandberg just smacked the wall. There we go. That's Sandberg is now going to go by.
Oh.
Very close.
Oh. And of course, here comes Hubler. Riding on board. Look how close he gets.
Yeah, and this section, turns 2 and 3, it seems super easy, but it really isn't that easy. If you get offline for a tiny bit, then you're going to have to lift and lose a ton of momentum. So going side by side is not something that you want to do there. Smart move by Zachary Hubler to take a tiny bit of patience there. He's going to get closer to Carey here. Oh! Something weird. I think he missed a shift at some point, Zachary Hubler did. I was on board with him, and it sounded weired. Kilgore, Burrell, Bandison, Craig, Sandberg, Carey,
everybody on pit road. It is an all swim on pit road at the moment.
Lap 23, like we were talking about.
And we got point implications across the board happening right now. We'll show you the point situation. I told you last week, Indianapolis, well, points doesn't count, just dubs there. Everyone on pit road, up on the jacks, down and away. And Christian Hilgard comes out of pit lane, the leader. Burrell P2, Van de Sant P3, Craig P4, Sandberg up to P5, Hubler P6, Carey down to P7.
And here comes Ryan Stark. He's going to move by Toward Wheelhide, Rain, Facundo Machine. And he's going to be there stuck for a tiny bit. And now I wish that it was accurate, our timing and scoring. I don't know who's on the reds and who's on the blacks.
Yeah, we got that glitch going on. My timing and scoring, it will tell me here. But let's take a look at the start of the field. So we got, I see Christian Hilgard on the Reds visually and on the Reds in time he's scoring. Kevin Burrell, same thing, and that makes sense because they're teammates. Alex Van de Sant, he is on the primes, visually on the primes in timing and scoring. So Rashad Craig, Rashad Craig almost in the wall on corner exit there, corner number 7, showing him on the primes. Visually, he is on the primes. Anders Sandberg, excuse me. He is on the primes as well, showing him on the prime in the timing and scoring, and black sidewalls visually. Go back to Hubler. We're going to see a battle right now.
Alternate, yep. And then they're side by side entering turn 3. He's going to make it work. Yeah, those alternate cars, they're faster for a tiny bit, but then they're going to fall off a cliff. So, oh no, there's a little bit of net code.
I don't think he hit anything, did he? Did he hit something?
Doesn't seem like it did. No, he just spun. That's great car control. I mean, such a bummer that he spun around, because that was. He's stopping the car. Maybe he does have a tiny bit of damage. Sandberg. He's waiting.
I don't think he hit the inside wall.
No, but the car is crabbing. I think he has a lot of damage.
Yeah, the car is crabbing right now.
Oh, what a bummer. He was doing great there. And that wasn't even, I mean, yeah, it was net code. I think there was enough space for both of them to go by, no issue at all. But that car is definitely destroyed. Such a bummer for Andrew Sandberg, who was doing a great race all the day in the top 5.
Yeah, and he's sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups, and so is our coverage. Race First coverage of the Indy Open Series is sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups. Visit teamwatsonracing.com for all the setups you need in any Open Series that they currently produce them for, and more. Use the code WATSON39. That's WATSON39, WATSON 39 for 5% off your next purchase. We want to thank James Watson and his team for their ongoing support of our Indy Open coverage this season. Watching 2 Team Watson associated cars up in the front here with Hildegarde and Burrell.
And they're very close together. Those Team Distinct guys, they've been on it. Hildegarde and Burrell separated by less than a tenth. Doing some really fast lap times. Last time by 55.6. We were talking about that some of the fastest laps for some of the other guys were 57s. So now they're down to 55s. It's crazy how fast these guys are going. And that's going to happen when you're on the primary tires and nearing the end of your stint, because the car is so much lighter. You're going to have a lot less weight, and that's going to allow for you to do faster lap times there. Man, I'm still bummed about Sandberg. That was such a tough break.
Yeah.
Because they were going to go side by side, no problem at all. It's a little bit of a net code, and you know what happens when we're doing this.
And Hildegarde goes wide, and he's into the wall. Through the bus stop chicane, you hit that curb wrong, and all of a sudden your timing is all messed up. He is into the wall. There is some damage to the left front wing. And now he's being lined up by Alex Van de Sant, and Alex seeks blood in the water at the moment. And yeah, Hildegarde cannot keep the car pinned. He's got to go to the pits and get this looked at. And now Burrell, he had a wingman, but no more. He is on his own, as he is currently right now right and behind. Is that Eichemer? Nope, that is Reinecke. As Reinecke lets him on by.
Oh, man, but you know what? It's not as catastrophic as it could have been. Hildegarde went to the alternates. So now he's going to come in here, take his, get his new wing, and go back to the primaries and finish the race. He doesn't need to pit again. And we're going to see pretty much everyone that went to the alternates pit in here in the next couple of laps. He's waiting. There we go. New wing for him. And slower pits, of course, 13.5 seconds, but... it could have been worse. I think he could still manage the top 5 if everything lines up for him.
Oh, and here comes his teammate.
There we go. And I'm sure Zachary Hubler is going to come into the pits as well.
Yep, there he is. He makes that extra turn on the pit road. See those cones there, right there. They're out on the racetrack, actually. I believe in real IndyCar racing, those cones are a little bit further in.
Yeah, they should be. They were so close to the pit entry here. So now Van de Sand, Rashad Craig, Brian Carey, Facundo Machin, that's your top 4. Those guys are going to be stretching it out because they're on the primary tires. And they're going to be trying their as hard as they can to get as much room as possible to make their pit stop and come out in front of these guys that are just went to the pits, Kevin Burrell and Zachary Hubler.
Yeah, Burrell just rejoins in front of Daniela Talbert. Josh Brain right there. We haven't talked about him yet today. He in that Husky Chocolate Ericsson livery. He is currently up to 7th. Hilgard, damage is fixed, but the damage is done on the race course, unfortunately, because he has to make up a lot of lost time. He is down in 8th. Hubler, his teammate, imagine he's going to do everything he can to try to help him out here. He's in 9th. Stark 10th. Real quick, while we have an opportunity, we'll send the camera back up to Alex Van de Sand.
Yeah, Josh Brain just hit pit road, so that moves Hilgard and Hubler up to P7 and P8.
Here are the Division 1 standings for Indy Open. Craig is your leader, Burrell P2, so this is a critical championship race here right now going on with one race to go. Burrell, your leader, Craig is P2. Actually, Burrell will be your leader when we go through pit stops, that is. But Craig is currently P2. Chris Wilhite, P4 in the championship. Sandberg is P6 in the championships. Alex Van de Sand, your current on-the-course leader, P8 in the championship. And Jesper Orman, P10 in the championship, and he's had himself a bad day. I'm sure he's going to want to audit this this particular race and not pretend like it never happened. The Division 2 is we got a battle between Hubler and Stark, and they are battling out on the racetrack, as a matter of fact, between 8th and 9th. There is Hubler in 8th. Stark just a little bit ways behind him coming through. There he is. So he's about a full front straight away from where Hubler is. But that is your Division 2 standings right there.
Yep. And just... saw that Daniela Talbert went into the pits. That moves Hilgard up to P6 and Hubler up to P7. Like we were talking about, it's not necessarily catastrophic for Hilgard, that issue that he had. It happened in the best possible moment for him. He needed to pit anyway, and he's behind Kevin Burrell by around 9 seconds, which sounds like a lot, but they did have a lot of... they had a huge gap to the other guys.
Well, and you think about that pit stop.
Be able to get at least a top 5 here. If
not and 9 seconds, you think about it, at least that pit stop was at least 5 seconds longer because of the new front wing. So that accounts for 5 of the 9 seconds.
I'm sure he's still super angry at himself for that, tiny mishap there. But again, not that bad, considering that it could have been race-ending damage, and instead he's here riding P6. Kevin Burrell trying to make a move on Lucas Einkemer, who is 6 laps down. That actually cost him a couple of tenths there.
Yeah, Einkemer moving out of the way down the front stretch here.
Yeah, and nothing that he did wrong. Burrell just caught him in a very bad spot. And there's Sandberg. He's back on track, but I think he has way too much damage. He's just parking the car. And toes. Yep. Sandberg Day is done. It was pretty much done. Anyway. So in the meantime, Alex Van de Sand is your leader, followed by Rashad Craig, 5 seconds back. Then we have Brian Kerry, P3, another 5 seconds back from Rashad Craig. Facundo Machine, P4, he's 12 seconds back from Kerry. And then rounding up the top 5, that's Kevin Burrell, who is already, he's good to go to the end of the race. P5, he is 4 seconds behind Machine. So the top 4, they need to pay it. We'll see where they merge back in. So looking at my timing and scoring, looks like Hilgard, Hubler, Stark, Hayward, Wheelheight, and Josh Brain. Oh, and Daniela Tober, they're all good to go to the end of the race.
And everyone's on prime tires with the exception of one car at the moment. That's Rinicky. He is currently on the alternates. Everyone else cruising on the... Ooh, Reinecke battling with Daniela Tilbert for a position. This is for 12th. And through the S's, especially right where it gets narrow there when the tunnel goes under the S portion. Oh! Reinecke.
A little wide there.
A little wide.
Oh!
And he's in the wall.
Yeah, that's day John for him. But, that's kind of what we were talking about with these alternate tires. He's the only one that's still on those tires. He last beat on lap 23. He's lap 37. Those tires are gone. The alternates really degrade really fast. So trying to keep him on for more than 10 laps, it's really a recipe for disaster, as we just saw here with Niels Reinecke. So the top 4, Vanis and Craig, Kerry, and Machine, they're gonna stay on these tires as long as they can. They're gonna try and switch to the primaries with maybe 4 or 5 laps to go. We still have a little bit of time to get to that point in the race, and we'll see what happens then. Right now, everyone's kind of on their own island.
Yeah, very much so. We're watching a 6-second lead there for Alex over Craig. Craig's got himself about a 5-second lead over Kerry. Kerry's got himself about a 12-second lead over Machine. And after what we haven't put Facundo on the cam very much, but there is Facundo in a very brightly colored car there.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Josh Brain just cut to Chris Wilhite here, and he's going to try and make a move. Going on the backstretch, they're going to be entering the bus stop here, side by side.
Careful, boys. You saw Chris. Chris just hesitate a little bit and let Brian by. I guess they're starting now to notice that entering at least the bus stop side by side is not a good thing. Brain gets the position over Wilhite. Move Brain up to 10th. Wilhite down to 11th. Your top 10 is Vanisant, Craig, Kerry, Facundo Machine, Kevin Burrell, Christian Hilgard, Zachary Hubler. So all the distinct guys are 5th, 6th, and 7th. Stark 8th, Hayward 9th, and Brain 10th.
Yeah, and right behind him, Chris Wheelheight. I was looking at him. I think he has some sort of damage. His current lap time is there in the 58, like high 58s. I'm not sure if he tapped the wall at some point or something, but he definitely seems a little out of pace right now. And, that's going to be something that he needs to manage from here on out till the end of the race, unfortunately for him.
Well, let's take this opportunity to do a little paying the bills and do a side-by-side here from the guys at Team Watson Racing Setups. We'll be right back. We're back. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Race First coverage of the Saturday 1 p.m. Eastern top split of the Indy Open Series Championship, with coverage sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups, coming to you from Watkins, Glen International. We're currently, friend of the program, Alex Van de Sant is your leader, and we are getting down to the last fourth of the race here to go. Not many more laps, so we got still a lot that's going to happen. I think we got another pit stop a lot of these guys are going to have to do. Hey, you can help show your support of Race First. Become a member of our Patreon page today. Go to patreon.com/racefirst and become a member there. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. We only have 7 more subscribers to go to get to the magical 1,000 mark, so everybody counts now. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn that red button gray for us. You'll be doing us a huge, huge favor. Now back to the action on the racetrack. Alex Van de Sant, your leader by about 7 seconds over Rashad Craig, the championship leader here in the Indy Open Series.
I was looking again at Chris Wilhite and Josh Brain. Last time we were chatting about him, we were saying that Chris was doing 58, high 58, 58.8, 58.9. And right now he's down again to 57.3s. We were wondering if he had any damage, but now what I think happened is he didn't have the entire tank full, so he had to, save a little fuel, and now he's on the attack mode. He's getting actually closer to Wilhite. Hubler is pitting. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, also helps you if you have a dance partner out there to help with you some of those drafting speeds. But Hubler is on pit road, and you mentioned it. You're not sure why. I don't know if he didn't put enough in or what. He's hitting pit road. He's going to go up on the jacks. That new set of tires going on. I don't know if maybe he had slight damage on something. We're going to see here. In the box for 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. Yeah, we had some sort of damage.
That's wing
fixed.
Damage.
Yeah.
Or suspension damage, or I don't know. That's not taking.
Yeah, I think it is suspension damage. I'm watching a lot of graphical changes to the car and the left look at the left front, and he is out right now. So this might be a retirement stop for Hubler, who's had himself a good race, and he is a Division II points champion, our points leader. So that is going to that's going to definitely have, as we like to say, championship implications. Back up front, Alex Van de Sant, your leader by 7 seconds now over Rashad Craig. Alex had a bit of a rough open wheels race. Spun off of corner number 4 and ended his day early. But I would suspect next year, do not count this man out at Indianapolis anytime.
All right, Facundo Machine coming into the pits. He's one of the front runners that still had a pit stop left to do. Let's see where he blends in.
What was that? He goes to pit road, goes to the and then comes back out. Not sure if what was going on there. Now he hits his stall up on the jacks there, pneumatic jacks.
Ryan Stark goes by.
Hubler down and away with his damage fixed, but he's coming out in front of Facundo. I don't think Facundo necessarily wants to see that, but Facundo is going to try to hold on and cement a top 10 here. About 7 laps to go.
Down to P7, not bad at all for him.
No, not at all. And he just got lapped by Van de Sant. So now there are 6 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is Ryan Stark.
Oh, my. Facundo Machine almost wrecked himself. He was trying to put a little bit of heat on those alternate tires. He was whipping in and out, and then coming to the bus stop, he almost hit the wall. It's back on it, no damage, but I'm sure that was a scary moment for him.
Well, when we had the IIS race here, when we covered that for the IndyCar iRacing Series, when they visited Watkins Glen, a number of drivers had issues with cold tires in the bus stop, and I'm surprised we have not seen that very much today. We've seen incidents there, but it's mainly racing incidents.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, these guys are the best of the best.
That is for sure.
Okay, so we are at the 6 to go. I'm wondering if Van der Zandt is going to dive into the pits right now, or if he's going to try and squeeze yet another lap. Right now, he's being very, very fast. Actually, fastest car on track by a couple of tenths. Well, no, actually by 100 of a second over Chad Craig. And but they're still the quickest cars on track right now. And that's going to change when he goes.
Yep,
to
he's coming in. He's
the
coming in.
Ultras,
He's
where-
coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, he is coming in. Hopefully, did not speed. Locks him up right before hitting the cones. Now he's on pit road. Coming in with him is Rashad Craig. Brian Carey. So here comes now all eyes on Kevin Burrell on the return straight. Currently getting a little drafting help from AJ Musselman. Now through corner number 7. Got a full steam ahead. Will he get out in front of Van der Zandt? Van der Zandt's still on pit road. Van der Zandt's down and away. Burrell by.
Burrell by easily. Yep.
Easy peasy almost. And now AJ relents and lets Burrell on by. And AJ's also going to move over and let Van der Zandt on by. But we still got a battle going on. Van der Zandt on fresh alternate tires and light tanks. Here he comes.
Yeah, and he's just right on Burrell's 6. It's going to be a great battle for the next couple of laps. Although I do think there's a slight advantage on Burrell's side. But like we were talking about, the alternates, they're faster for a couple of laps. They fall off a cliff, but maybe, with 4 laps to go, actually, they can make it work. Here comes Van der Zandt.
Yep, and here's your push-to-pass situation, which he's not on push-to-pass.
Oh, he lifted.
He lifted. So here's your push-to-pass situation. Burrell with 3, Van der Zandt with 5, Craig with 5. Both on the button now.
Van der Zandt did a split of a second before, so he's going to get a little bit of a better run and the draft, and they're going to be side by side on the backstretch.
Burrell's going to have the draft of the car in front of him, which is Daniela Talbot.
Talbot, yep.
He manages to hold off that position. So
what a move,
side by side.
Move Van der Zandt back up to the lead.
This is not over yet. Christian Hilgard with 1 push-to-pass left. Brian Carey with 4. Stark with 1. Facundo with 3. Olivia Haywood with 3. Will Height is out. He is Winchester. Daniela Talbot staying high.
Burrell's going to catch Daniela Talbot in a really bad spot there.
Yeah, in the most narrowest part of the racetrack. But I mean,
that's he's not going to get drafted. Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong there. Just not there's. Oh, and he's into the side of her. What happened?
I don't know. Looks like
we got to go back and take a look, and we got to ride along with Kevin to see what happened.
So, okay, I think I know what happened. It looks like Daniela Talbot tried to brake a little bit earlier to let Burrell by, but Burrell was not committed to making a move. So he was trying to go right on her 6 and then make the move afterwards, but it didn't happen that way. So now Burrell has lost all track position. This is now Van der Zandt's race to lose. Plus, with Burrell's damage, I'm not sure, but maybe Rashad Craig is going to be able to close in. We only have 2 laps to go, though.
Yeah, looks like she just braked a little early and was thinking about that maybe he was clear more to her right side, and he was right there. So he's going to try to hang on here. And sorry about that. The overlay, our overlay system, which we are in the process of getting rid of here soon, is locked up on me, so I had to use a native overlay to, or the native controls to show that to you, but at least we got a chance to watch it. But we go back up front. Alex Van der Zandt is your leader.
White flag is out. 1 more to go for Van der Zandt. So I'm guessing that that strategy worked better.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that's the winning strategy right there. When he decided to make that late stop and throw those alternate tires on, that is ultimately the move that won the race here for Alex. Alex looking at a much better weekend than last. Licking wounds from not a good finish in open wheel 500 action, but back here in the Indy Open Series, in a championship battle that he's involved in, a win for Alex Van der Zandt at Watkins Glen is turning his Thanksgiving weekend into a slightly better one.
Corinne Burrell comes home P2, Rashad Craig P3, Hildegard P4. I mean, I'm sure he's really upset with him about that result. But hey, he still managed to come home P4. Brian Curry P5, Ryan Stark P6, Facundo Machin still, there you go, P7. Olivia Hayward P8.
And let's take a look at today's final standings here. All these graphics off. There we go. Whew. Here from Watkins Glen. Alex Van der Zandt, your winner. Kevin Burrell, a good day for him in the championship. Is going to make up a little ground on Rashad Craig. Craig comes home third. And it's a good defense of where he's currently in the championship. So we're going to go to the final race of the season with a championship battle on our hands still between Craig and Burrell. Hildegard recovers the P4. Brian Carey to P5. Ryan Stark, P6, good run for him. Facundo Machine, this is the first time we've seen him. Hopefully we see him more in the Saturday top split race. He is up to 7th. Olivia Hayward, 8th. Chris Wilhite, 9th. Josh Brain, 10th. AJ Musselman, well, he worked his way up to 11th after starting shotgun in the field. It worked his way up 8 spots, so he's your biggest gainer of the day. So that strategy worked well for him. Clint Martin, 12th. Hubler, 13th after an issue on track. Talbert, 14th. Eichemer, 15th. Renicky, Sandberg, Faulkner, and Jesper Orman rounding out your 19-car field here at Watkins Glen.
Man, that was fun. Watkins Glen's a lot of fun.
And we knew it was going to be we knew it was going to be a fast race. We definitely knew that. Yep. So and it lived up to its billing. We got Kevin Burrell in chat already. I want to see if we get possibly Rashad here. And normally Alex will check in, but if he's busy, we will see if he maybe just sends us a note. We'll see, but we'll wait a little bit here before bringing Burrell up. The sexiest set of facial hair on the circuit is Kevin Burrell, as we get to see him on the camera for the Open Wheel 500. So everyone got to see him, and all of a sudden his beard has a new fan club. And I'm not seeing either one of the other guys. So go ahead and bring up Burrell. We'll get a start on this. Hey, Kevin, we got you up here in the booth. We see you on mute. There it is. To the sexiest beard in all of sim racing, as we got to see last week on Open Wheels 500. Bit of a different weekend for you here. Open Wheels seemed like it was a good learning experience, but a little bit of a struggle for everybody just because of conditions. But here, you bring it home second. But it was looking like a good day for the team overall, but it didn't quite pan out for really what you wanted. And it looks like that strategy that Van der Zandt set there, getting those reds on light tanks there at the end, was the winning strategy. Did you have any chance of really holding them off?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was a couple moments of maybe like a little traffic that I think maybe we both ran into some. You know, I did partially go a little bit of a light tank thing, a strategy that was actually suggested to me by Olivia Hayward, who was in this race, of going primary, alt, primary, and doing the alts, because you get two 50-liter refuels that way, short refuels anyway, so it's 2 short pit stops, which is nice. And yeah, you don't get to run like 20-liter tank on the alts, but your pit stops can both be short, as opposed to having one be the 70-liter full tank refuel, so it's a bit of a compromise. But so you do get less than a full tank on the alts that way still. And I maybe could have gone even less fuel in the tank on my alt stint. I don't know. I just, man, every time you race here, it's like it's rolling the dice every single lap as to whether or not you survive the bus
Right,
stop. And
right.
I had a couple moments. There was a traffic moment that I am maybe not so proud of, but well, we'll not talk about that. Got through it with I somehow met, thanks to the magic of netcode, my car survived 0x. So we will take that. But man, what a race! I mean, it was just, once I saw when I came out, when I was like in the second primary stint, so I guess the final stint, and saw that Van de Sant was like 26 behind or 26 ahead, with a stop to go. I was like, oh man, like, this might work out. Like, and of course when Christian like spun off the track in front of me, it was it was a bit of a that really kind of shook me a little. Not his fault or anything. I mean, it's so easy to happen here, but I was like, oh my god, we don't have any shooters anymore. Like, we just gotta run. Like, we gotta go. Like, and I mean, it was good. He was flying, of course, all race, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I don't know. I mean, I like Watkins Glen a lot, but this layout is like, it's enjoyable. It's definitely something different, and it's a good challenge because the tires they do not cool down at all. Like,
Right.
The alts can get up to like 135, 140 Celsius, which is like, that's the zone where you just start losing like 1-2% tread like per corner, and you just have to take them off within a lap or two, or else it's completely over. Which is why we were all running like 5 laps on the alts, and I don't know. I just maybe it's something to do with iRacing, maybe it's something to do with just this track layout and this car. But to me personally, I prefer the boot. I think it maybe encourages a little less crazy racing.
Yeah.
It's a little better. There's a little more passing zones. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel quite so. But I mean, this was definitely I'm glad we got to try this season. It's something really different, and it was a really good race with Van de Sant and Rashad and Christian and everybody. I mean, it was just very, very intense. I mean, I'm just glad I got to the end, to be honest. That's every time you race at Watkins Glen, it's like, I know that I have pretty okay pace here usually, but survival is in no way guaranteed. So I'm just happy if I could get to the finish line. Really, it's about it. And I'm happy, that somehow Christian managed to survive his moment and
Yep. He
get to
recovered
the
pretty
end
decently.
also.
Yep. He did
That's
too.
really
Yep.
insane because I mean, sometimes there when you spin at the bus stop, you're just out of control and there's nothing you can
Well,
do. The walls close in.
Antonio was saying it really kind of worked out for him because you guys were going to pit there shortly anyways. He came in that lap, you came in the next lap, so we were both thinking that you guys were both going to come in that next lap anyways.
Yeah. So I mean, it could have been a lot worse for him, the timing of it all. But yeah, glad it's done now. I guess I was kind of little, I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a chance to really run any laps yesterday. Obviously, I ran some earlier in the week, but yesterday in particular, I was like off in Canada, picking up some stuff for a friend, and I just ran a couple laps last night and a little before I got on today to just try and get back warmed up. But I have so many laps here anyway. This track, it's like, it's just hardwired into my memory at this point, and I'm just glad that I made it to the end. It's a good way to end off the road races for this season. And yeah, I hope, obviously I'll be at Texas too, but yeah, looking forward to whatever comes next. And yeah, thanks guys, of course, everything for the broadcast. And, it was really, really fun. I mean, it's been a fun season. I know SOFs have been all over the place, but the races that we've had up at the front with everybody have been really, really fun. So yeah, thanks as always. Cheers.
Well, there you have it. The best interview in all of iRacing right there. We don't have to ask him any questions, just the one to kick off, and he just takes care of the rest. He just takes the ball and run with it. So happy holiday weekend, and we'll see you at the Oval at Texas next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna relax, but hopefully I have something good at Texas. It's of ovals. I always feel a little less confident there, but I will say Texas, I do kind of like it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cheers. Have a good one.
See ya.
Enjoy it, guys.
Congrats. Well, and on that note, he is a very technical driver, and they've turned kind of Texas into more of a, believe it or not, more of a technical oval than it used to be. So if he says he has a little something there, watch out. Yeah, but let's bring up Rashad Craig here into the booth. Here he is. Hey, Rashad, congratulations on that P3. A little bit better weekend than last weekend under an open wheels. I had an equipment failure last week, but this week bringing home the car third. You're up front all day, and I'm just basically hearing that the opportunities to pass were kind of hard to do because everyone's so evenly matched at this configuration. Do you like this configuration? Would you rather come back to the boot?
I would rather come back to the boot. Like, even with speed differentials between people, like, it's still so hard to pass. Like, people pretty much have to just let you by. Because the drive's so strong and it's such a high-speed track. There's not a lot of big braking zones. You don't really brake into the bus stop, so you just have to, like, hope that they just lift.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty hectic.
It really just seemed for your day, strategy-wise, is hit the pit stops, minimize mistakes, and maximize on the mistakes of those in front of you, which you did, getting to that podium. But it didn't really seem like it was kind of just a run-of-the-mill race for you almost today.
Yeah, I mean, I had some mistakes, tapped the wall on exit the final corner a couple times, luckily no damage there. But like the goal for me actually was kind of to just stay with the pack in the draft, because that's how the car was set to run.
Yeah.
And when I lost that kind of meant that mainly I would just hope for traffic would slow other people down. But for the most part, like you said, I was more just bring the car home, get some good points, and call it a day.
Next week's big. You're still the points leader going into the final race of this particular season. How are you set for Texas?
We got a pretty good set. I've yet to test it, but historically they had a good set for Texas last time they were there. Of course, I wasn't part of the team at that time, but I had some practicing to do for that. But it's another bring the car home, try to finish in front.
Right.
Or play a strategy, see who I have to finish in front of and where. Today helped out pretty big as far as that goes. With it being such a big SOF. But yeah, it's try to do my best on my worst discipline.
Well, before we get to shout outs, Antonio, you got anything for Rashad?
No, congratulations, man. I mean, it seemed like it was pretty much a quiet race for you. You didn't make any flashy moves, but you kept it under wraps and made it to the end, which was, I think it's the most important part. Did you get frustrated at some point, I guess, with some of the other cars, the lap cars, because there really is nowhere for them to go?
No, like a lot of them were really good about letting me by. Like I said, the car was made to run and draft, so like the car when I ran got to my cars, the car started feeling better.
Right.
But it was passing them that was the issue. But most of them just let me by. There's only one time where I really had to force the issue, but that's because I was going for fastest laps sort of deal.
Gotcha.
the Red Bull laps. We gotcha. Shout outs. Anybody want to say hi to?
This one in particular, because she's been waiting for a while. Shout out to my mom in particular. She's mad that I just say family and not her specifically. Shout out to the team, and especially AJ, man. Like, this man has done more laps this week, more races this week than I've seen anybody do. And seeing the improvement was great. So, like, a lot of feedback from different lines and stuff on how to drive the car from him, and seeing the improvement was really great. So, shout outs to him and the rest of the team.
Well, there you have it. P3 today. P1 in the championship going into the final week. Championship Saturday next week. Don't miss it. It's going to be Kevin Burrell versus Rashad Craig for that top step in the championship. Congratulations. Best of luck, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And let's bring up Alex. Hey, Alex, congratulations, man. Again, a much better weekend for you than last weekend. A little rough open wheels race, but hey, this weekend you get a little turkey, maybe do a little shopping, and get a win on the road course at Watkins Glen. I mean, it's a slight improvement, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, I suffered a lot in that first stint with I just didn't have enough front wing in it. But I was able to keep the long run pace and gain a little bit of time back. And then the second stint with that, a small adjustment, I was able to just take off. And yeah, great race with Kevin, Christian, and Rashad. Just an excellent strategy battle. We were all super close at the start. So yeah, had a blast running this week.
Hey, Alex, congratulations.
Yeah, sorry. No, sorry. Go right ahead, Antonio. You take it over, man.
All righty. Well, congratulations on the win. That was great. And we were talking about, it seems that you were on the right strategy. Like some of the other folks decided to place those alternate tires in the middle of the race and then go for the primaries at the end. But you did the opposite. You went primary to start, primary on your first pit stop, and then just a couple of bangers at the end. You think that was the case of winning the race? You did get a great, you built a great gap while on that second stint.
Yeah, it was close. I think the black strategy could work too. Kevin and Christian, I think they just got a bit of traffic, so they couldn't quite pull away as much. And then Christian had his issue there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but yeah. So if they had been able to execute that a bit better, I think I would have had to do a bit more work at the end to catch Kevin. But I definitely had a lot more speed at the end on the reds than I would have on the primes. So I think it was the right call for me, at least with how I was driving it and how our setup worked. But it's either one is definitely a viable option.
Hey, you talked about that first stint not having enough wing, and we often talk about in the broadcast that auto racing is also one of those games of inches and millimeters. How much front wing did you actually have to add to the car to make it behave the way you wanted it to from where you started the race? How small of a change was it?
It was 2 clicks, so not huge.
That's it. It just illustrates what we keep saying is that it doesn't take much to change these cars. A 2-click front wing, and all of a sudden he goes from fighting for a podium to winning the race. So congratulations on that. Shout outs. Anybody you want to say hi to? I know you do. So go right ahead.
Yeah, big thanks as always to the guys at Powerslide Motorsports. Brian he put in a ton of work this week, so he had a good run today, top 5.
Yes, he did.
And Adam Blocker, he's going into the final week. It's going to be super close between him and Rashad. So yeah, really good team effort this season, and yeah.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations on the win today. You're in the top 10 in the championship, so you're looking to improve as well. Next week is Texas. We know how you are on ovals, so I suspect we will see you next week as well. Probably the whole team, as a matter of fact. So congratulations. Go enjoy the win and get plenty of rest, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Well, that does it. It was exactly how we thought it was going to be today here. It was going to be really fast. And probably not a lot of passing, and people minimizing on mistakes, and that's exactly kind of what happened.
Yeah, that's the downside to the Cup layout here on the IndyCars, especially. Your only true passing zone is the bus stop, and that can be very tough to pull off, and especially because they are so close together. And we saw it with Anders Sandberg and Kevin Burrell, where the game detected the netcode, and that was race over for Sandberg, and how quickly things can happen with Burrell again and then in October there at the end of the race. But still a lot of fun. This track is really great. It puts up a great show, and I think we saw a really good spectacle here. And I'm hoping we do go back to the boot at some point.
The boot,
but I wouldn't mind if we stay a little bit longer without on the Cup layout. I really like it. I'm good at it, so that's probably a little bit of a biased opinion on myself. But overall, I think we saw a great race, and looking forward to Texas.
Yeah, I knew AJ Musselman was farming this week. Apparently, we'll see how many races he did at the end of this week for this track. But, when I first saw this configuration on the open schedule, I thought this track was just a little lowbrow for the higher echelon of the open series. Because, frankly, let's just put it that way. Just the open guys are the best of the best when it comes to the IndyCar drivers here on the service. And I thought the scheduling this configuration was almost an off week for them, or at least a throwaway week or something. I would be more inclined for them to bring back the boot for the Open Series, and if they want to leave this for fixed, maybe leave this for fixed, which that would be a lot of fun to see the fixed guys do this. Yep. But this is a little lowbrow for the highbrow Indy Open Series, so I would hope that maybe next time they'd choose the boot. But hey, that's just my opinion today. So next week, we go to Championship Saturday, where we go to the odd configured Texas Motor Speedway, which are going to reconfigure it to something else. Who knows? So whatever this configuration is going to be scanned and put into history whenever iRacing gets around to it. But much like when the Indy Racing League raced there back in its early days, we're going to decide a championship at Texas. So everyone join us. That's next week. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium from Watkins Glen is Alex Vanasant, your winner. Kevin Burrell, P2. Rashad Craig, P3. Join, like I said, racers again next week for Championship Saturday for the Indy Open Series Championship as we head to Texas Motor Speedway to wrap up Season 4 of 2022. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube at youtube.com/racefirst. And as always, check the official iRacing schedule for our channel and for the correct time in your area. Race First coverage of the Indy Open Series is sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups. Visit teamwatsonracing.com for all the setups you need for the Indy Open Series season and other open setup series on the service. Use the code WATSON39, WATSON39 for 5% off your next purchase. Hey, we love bringing these races to you. They're not easy and they require time and money to produce. If you share a passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the Indy Open Series, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our Indy Open Series broadcast fund. You have only 2 opportunities right now and next week to do that, and after that, it all closes. So if we could do that, we would greatly appreciate it. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. And we thank you for watching us and making it a part of your Saturdays each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support Race First with the weekly grind and leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. And there were plenty of things to smash like about that was going on in this particular race. But make sure to smash that like. The algorithm monster loves it. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of Race First iRacing programming, including Season 4 of 2022 of the Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split, where we will crown a champion at Atlanta on Monday. And starting on December 7th, it is the return of the Revolution Indy League's Schaefer IndyCar Series as they open their series at Homestead Miami Speedway. Don't forget, join us. It's going to be a good one. Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means. For business inquiries to learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. You can follow all of us via our Twitter handles right here at the bottom of your screen as they will come into view. There they are. There's me, there's Race First, there's Antonio, there's Nick, who we haven't heard from in a while. We'll get him back up here. We will, trust me. He's been doing play-by-play for DDR tournaments, so he's transitioning actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So for Antonio Estrada, everyone at Race First, I am Gary Gonzo saying to all, thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again next week. When we are back at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday as we move to Texas Motor Speedway for the next race of the Indy Open Series Championship and Championship Saturday. Happy Thanksgiving and good night, everybody.